Hello and welcome to another Raggy's beer review on quite a warm day at the end of April. I mean, we haven't had many warm days this year. So, we're going over to the probably the main reason why you'd visit Huddersfield, to Magic Rock Brewing, and it's their Big on A's. It's a hazy pale ale. Like I said, they're from Huddersfield. And we beat them last year. And apologies to any Huddersfield fan, it is what it is. Football is both good and cruel at all times. 4.5% ABV. MagicRockBrewing.com doesn't really say anything more, to be fair. And like I say, these guys have been in supermarkets for years, and really, when I think of Huddersfield, this town, you think of Magic Rock Brewing, and they've certainly been around in supermarkets, all the supermarkets. I'm not sure who owns them these days. I only really care about the beer. Really. I don't care about politics or anything like that. So here we go. So this was newly released into Lidl. Orangey pour, big white head. Obviously, it's called Big on Haze, and in this day and age, it's tough being in supermarkets because of the fact that you've got to make money, and all brewers have got to make money to survive. And to go into supermarkets, you've got the hidden factor that supermarkets want to make money off you. So you want to make money, they want to make money, and that forces prices down. And the fact of the matter is that the price of hops, electricity, gas, yeast, and malt has gone through the roof. So it's very difficult for said breweries. Like I say, Magic Rock, I've had quite a few Magic Rocks over the years. From that neck of the woods, the predominant brand from that area, Yorkshire. I'm not sure. I know where they're based. Well, I think I do. Don't tell me they're not based in Huddersfield, otherwise I'll cry. Yeah, Huddersfield. Yeah, I thought there was. Sometimes sometimes you say where they're based from, and then you question yourself. Where it's like, oh, are they? But yeah. So as we can see, orangey pour, finger of white head, hazy. Not a lot on the nose, to be honest. Yeah, it's comes across as a more subtle beer than it's a craft beer. Subtle notes of tropical, rather than a full-on punchy, dank beer that you may or may not as expect. Like I say, it's made for supermarkets, and what we must understand is that beers that are going into supermarkets can't have all the hops, all the flavour that a beer that goes directly to trade, i.e. goes directly to websites and bottle shops and that. Because, for example, if this was a standard Magic Rock release, if they do such a thing, you'd be looking at £6 or £7 for this release, possibly. This is £1.79. So at £1.79, something's got to give. It's inevitable that something's got to give. And be it hops, be it malt, be it yeast, there's so much that they can drop the cost down to make it durable and viable to go into supermarkets. The cost of a can, the artwork, and that, it's not easy. I mean, the cost of making the beer itself is probably not that much in the grand scheme of things, but the cost of heating the water up, the malt, the hops, the electricity, the yeast, all these factors, and then you play into the fact that the supermarkets need to make profit. They don't sell your beer for free. They want to make, I don't know, 10-20% profit, if not more, because the greedy bastards. So you can see where, and unless you know this, you may or may not think that a beer that goes into supermarkets for £3, that the brewery who are brewing it are just being greedy buggers. But they could probably sell it for £2 or £1.50. But your man in the supermarket is putting his price on, his profit for doing notes, selling your gear, and yeah. So it's interesting. It's eye opening. It's eye opening when you don't know these things happen. Now, all that said, all together, let's be fair. If you're going to put your beer into supermarkets and it's your brand, what you don't want to do is release a shit beer that destroys your brand. We will have seen supermarkets beers from predominantly Aldi and Home Bargains. They are the two biggest culprits of shit beer in supermarkets. Whoever made the beer for them, it doesn't really matter. But they are the biggest culprits of shit beer. And when a beer's crap and it's given that craft beer label, it does damage to craft beers, because people think, is this craft beer? This is craft beer. It's what these idiots are paying £8 for. I've paid £1.60 and it's shit. Yeah, and you can see why beers get a bad name. Because somebody's released an inferior product. I mean, as we know, you don't have to count beer in this. You can count jobs. There's people who can do a job, and there's people who can't do a job, but who say they can do a job. And I'm a gardener, and I've been a gardener all my life. I know what I'm doing. And there's gardeners and there's gardeners. I mean, I worked in a job where you got these blokes who are gardeners, and they're on some housing estate, and they've trimmed down somebody's precious geraniums, and these gardeners, and then you think to yourself, fucking hell, you call you, and when we're talking to them, they're giving it the big I am, like, yeah man, I know what I'm doing, I'm a gardener, and they're like, yeah, but you just trimmed somebody's geraniums down. Did you not look before while you were trimming? There's flowers there. They've planted them around their flat or whatever, their dwelling, and you just trimmed them down. Did you not think? Not everybody sees a plant as a weed, and they've actually gone out and bought these. And in the end, I had to go out, plant a load of geraniums back for these people, and butter it over, you know. And yeah, and supposed gardeners. And you can put that into all trades, can't you? You know, there are some people that say they're good at this, say they're good at that, and the fact of the matter is that they aren't. And it is what it is, I suppose, on that side of things. But yeah, from Magic Rock, do you know, I haven't even got a clue where Huddersfield is. I presume it's in Yorkshire. Has it got a Yorkshire postcode on it? No, it's got a Huddersfield postcode on, HD1. So, there you go. Yeah. Willow Lane. Don't know anything about Magic Rock myself, but the beer itself, it's a drinkable, what you would call, I wouldn't call it a full-on craft beer. I would call it a bridge between mod trad and craft. For me, an easygoing 4.2 out of 5. Yeah. And for the price, you can't fault it. You know, you're not paying £6 for this and expecting something much better. You're paying £1.79, and for that you've got to realise that there's a gulf in between paying cheap and then paying a bit more. And that's it for this review. Thank you for watching. See you soon.